C.S. Lewis is about to go through something that is contemporary. J.R.R. Tolkien has had to endure for 2 seasons by having his literary masterpiece, The Chronicles of Narnia, adapted by an idiot. It's a little bit different of a situation when it comes to adaptations than what HBO and Warner Brothers is about to do with the Harry Potter books, given that, looks like at least some of the people surrounding that production are somewhat capable, even though some of those rumored casting decisions leave a lot to be desired. But I think it's far more analogous to what has happened with the Rings of Power in regards to Tolkien and the Middle-earth mythos, because C.S. Lewis and the stories of the Chronicles of Narnia is being adapted by Greta Gerwig. Oh, God. The idiot that brought us Barbie. And also, okay, I don't want anybody to forget this, but she wrote the screenplay for Snow White. You know, that one. That Snow White that is coming out on March 25th. That Snow White that has been promoted as being one for the modern audience. This isn't 85 years ago. That's weird. That's weird. The girl boss who is not going to be saved by the prince has been written by, yes, indeed, no one other than Ms. Barbie herself. So yeah, Greta Gerwig's Narnia Eyes, a summer 2025 shoot, and honestly, the only shooting that need take place involves a barrel of a gun and somebody's mouth in Minecraft, or in this case in Narnia. But this is one of those odd situations, right, where I've actually read some of these books before. Like, I've read The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, Prince Caspian, I think one other one that's in there, and then also The Last Battle of All Things. I know, right? And kind of just jumped around my youth. But I really like these books. I think that they're quite good. I don't remember a lot of it, but this has been one of those grand fantastical tales that people have always said that you can't really adapt them, okay? And Disney tried a while back. They tried to launch all of this stuff, you know, with a filmic adaptation, and I forget how far they got. Did they get to the 3rd book, or did they stop after Prince Caspian? But it's not so much that these are works that can never be adapted, okay? It requires a deft touch, somebody immersed in the lore, and also talented people. Greta Gerwig is none of those things. She's an absolute hack, and she's ill fit for this role. She might be able to tell a couple of feminist tales with Lady Bird. I've heard some people extol those virtues, but those are the same people that also go, yeah, Phoebe Waller-Bridge isn't quite set out for, like, you know, Indiana Jones or anything like that, but she was good in Fleabag. Leslie Headland, oh, terrible choice for Star Wars, but I liked Russian Doll. Greta Gerwig is the flavor of the month that is eventually going to fan and flail out, because it's so funny, right? Because Barbie was the highest grossing film of 2023, but do you hear anybody outside of the people going, wow, Barbie actually kind of sucked in retrospect? Does anybody talk about that film? Or was it simply the propaganda that, you know, much more enlightened minds were pointing it out as at the time, where, yeah, this is going to be forgotten in very short order? And here we are, after the award season, and it walked away with absolutely nothing. Ryan Reynolds' wonky eyes performed at the Oscars, and then after that, silence. But yeah, the feminist icon, okay? Greta Gerwig gave Barbie the voice that she needed, and allowed America Ferrara, or I guess now UK Ferrara, because after the election of Trump, she doesn't feel safe and needs to move to where Hollywood's going to be doing all of their productions moving forward. Delivered that cringy ass speech, which outside of just the sheer internet intellectuals, nobody defended that dumb shit because it was cringy as hell. Because it's tough to be a woman, because you get catcalled and stuff like that, and it really does harken back to that good old Hillary Clinton line where, you know, the primary victims in war are women because they're the ones who lose their husbands and fathers. What? Anyways, there's been radio silence on Greta Gerwig's Narnia project at Netflix, and oh yeah, that's another big red flag. Not only is it being written in crayon, it's also from Netflix, which, yeah, okay, kind of has a hit and miss track record when it comes to producing a competent season 1. But then after that, like, you're playing Russian roulette with a loaded revolver when you're going into season 2. They just can't make back-to-back bangers. It's impossible. Since the announcement that the Academy Award nominated director behind Lady Bird, Little Women, and Barbie will helm two films based on C.S. Lewis' Chronicles of Narnia books for the streamer, I thought this was a TV series. She's going to be trying to tell a grandiose tale of 6 books in 2 films for Netflix. Oh, no. Oh, this is going to be really bad. Oh, dear Lord. We have no cast, no release date, but we do know that the production will commence in July of 2025 thanks to a new interview with Amy Pascal at Deadline. Oh, Jesus Christ. So we've really got the idiot Avengers working on this if Amy Pascal is involved. Pascal describes it as a very new take on Narnia and revealed that it's all about rock and roll. Oh, something that was written by a staunch Protestant about being analogous to the tales and the lives and tribulation of Jesus of Nazareth. We want it to be very rock and roll. Oh, I want to die. I despise this so much. Amy Pascal, one of the producers on Greta Gerwig's upcoming adaptation of C.S. Lewis's The Chronicles of Narnia, revealed the film will be a very new take, and then it's all about rock and roll. Yeah, because guess what? Greta can only write one script, and now some of the players might change, but the message is going to be the same. How are you going to take a story that was written in the time of the Great Depression and try to wedge in feminist politics? Oh, in an interview with Peter Hammond at Deadline, Pascal was asked, "And how is Narnia? Has she been shooting that lately?" Pascal replied, "No, we start shooting in July." Hammond then asked, "That's a new take on Narnia? Or is a new take, is it going to be the gayest take?" Oh, that'd be if the interview was conducted by Variety. Pascal responded, "It's a very new take on Narnia. It's all about rock and roll." What? Right, because the Chronicles of Narnia was written at the same time, because at that point, Lewis and Tolkien were friends. They ended up having a falling out because, well, Tolkien, being the staunch Catholic, was a bit of a curmudgeon, and C.S. Lewis, being a Protestant, was, kind of a duplicitous dink, but they had a falling out, and, well, shit happens. They didn't reconcile before the end of Lewis's life. That doesn't take away from the fact that they both wrote, some of the quintessential fantasy epics of all time. It's just unfortunately now they are reunited and having their lore desecrated once again. Because nothing bad, I can't really say that's what happened with Disney's interpretation. Okay, they just did a bad job. It's kind of like the Hobbit films. They're just bad. They aren't ideologically bad. War of the Rohirrim, girl boss better. Oh, God. Why can't they just leave well enough alone? All right, because there's nobody talented left in the entertainment industry. They just end up writing what they know, and what they know is bullshit. But I digress. Pascal's comments come about 2 weeks after actor Jason Isaacs. I was being very hopeful that Jonathan Isaacs would be a part of this, at least in some form or fashion. Told The Week that the first book Gerwig plans to adapt is The Magician's Nephew. Oh no, isn't that canonically the first one? But is that the sixth book? I gotta pull that shit up, okay? Yeah, it's 6th of 7th in the series, and canonically the first. So that does make sense, but yes. Oh, while listing out all of the books he planned to read at the Christ Church Cathedral, Oxford, for Macmillan Cancer Support, Isaac included The Magician's Nephew and stated, "I love all the Narnia books as a kid. When Peter was told that he wouldn't be coming back, I understood something devastating about morality. I picked this one because Greta Gerwig is about to make a film on it, which I can't wait to see." Oh, I can really wait to see it. I think I was gonna read The Magician's Nephew, but then I got really bored with it. Literally, this is 25 years ago at this point in time. I can't remember. I might actually have those books. I know I have one of the Lord of the Rings books because my friend bought it for me for my birthday way back in the day, at the time when, the PJ trilogy was coming out. I think it was Two Towers, because that would have made sense. Because I know it's out of order which one I got, but I digress. Yeah, The Magician's Nephew tells the story of the creation of Narnia. The official description on Amazon states, on a daring quest to save life, 2 friends are hurled into another world where an evil sorcerer seeks to enslave them. Though when the lion Aslan song weaves itself into the fabric of a new land, yes, a land that will be known as Narnia, and in Narnia all things are possible, including Mr. Tumnus. The book is the penultimate book, yes, to be published. However, it is the first in chronological order. Yeah. I hate those covers. That's gross. Ooh. Netflix announced, yes, that it's planning to develop both films as TV shows. Yes, yeah, both films and TV shows based on C.S. Lewis's, Chronicles of Narnia back in 2018. That's where I got the TV show idea from. In a press release, it announced Netflix will develop a series of, series and film projects based on C.S. Lewis' beloved Chronicles of Narnia series. So, they want to get the setup out of the way? Is the way that, I guess, if I'm to take a look at Netflix, right, because you can flush everything out, and then there's, the big battle and the last battle, obviously. I think the name of the book kind of gives away what the story is ultimately about. But because those are such thick tomes, you can tell the prequel and the first one as a film, and then do a TV series about everything else? That would be interesting. Yes, I don't really know what they're on about. Under the terms of the multi-year deal between Netflix and the C.S. Lewis Company, Netflix will develop classic stories from across the Narnia universe and into series and films for its members worldwide. Oh, are they also going to spin off nameless characters that were originally in the appendices and go, well, we were really drawn towards, her story right there. We need to repurpose somebody else's great tale, in order to justify this. Company added, the deal marks the first time that the rights to the entire 7 books of Narnia universe have been held by the same company. And oh, great. And because it's Netflix, it's going to be of good high quality, right? Because they're known to tell great epic tales that are adapted from beloved works like The Witcher, just with such specificity and love for the lore. Yay. I look forward to it. Before the end, you will beg for Disney to take back the rights to the franchise. I goddamn guarantee it. Netflix's Chief Content Officer Ted Sandro said at the time, C.S. Lewis's beloved Chronicles of Narnia stories have resonated with generations of readers around the world. Families have fallen in love with the characters like Aslan. Yeah, I know Aslan, right? You remember Aslan? In the entire world of Narnia, and we're thrilled to be their home for years to come. Douglas Grisham, Lewis's stepson, also stated, it is wonderful to know that folks from all over are looking forward to seeing more of Narnia, and the advances in production and distribution technologies have made it possible for us to make a Narnian adventures come to life all over the world. Netflix seems to be the very best medium with which to achieve this aim, and I'm looking forward to working with them towards this goal, he added. Oh, great, so you have some long-lost descendant, a stepson, shepherding the works of his stepfather. So hopefully he's more son, like Christopher Tolkien was to respecting his father's work, or allowing anybody adapting it to be respectful to his work, and less step, kind of like what Simon Tolkien is, giving the green light to all of the dumbest ideas that Amazon can put forward. The Rings of Power. Oh my God. This is not a good time. This should be the point in time, right? Because all of these ideas, right? Because back in the time when Peter Jackson was making the Lord of the Rings trilogy, everybody thought, you can't tell the story. There's no way to properly adapt Lord of the Rings for the big screen. It's impossible. And then 3 of the best films of all time came out, and the same thing has always been said and claimed about the Chronicles of Narnia. You couldn't do it, and so far, they've been proven correct, and, well, the technology is there, and this should be the time, right? Like, there's no reason to believe, and especially as fantastical as a lot of House of the Dragon has looked over at HBO, and even as poor the stories has been, but just the sheer cinematography of the late stages of Game of Thrones, there's no reason that these stories cannot be told. It's just when you put them in the hands of incompetent idiots like Greta Gerwig, I cannot emphasize that enough. Why you would allow such a deeply religious allegory be put into the hands of a feminist ideologue is, man, it's almost beyond me. But then I look back at what we've been dealing with in recent years in regards to adaptations, and it all lines up perfectly, because they don't want traditional stories, and especially they don't want the ones that resonate throughout time. They want to be able to rework them for a modern audience. They think in their ultimate hubris that they can do it better than C.S. Lewis can. His works can't translate to a modern audience the way that I can tell those stories. So yeah, go ahead, ruin more things, because we're almost at the tail end of this stuff. You're starting to hear the sucky end of the straw at the end of an empty cup, because all of the franchises have been burnt down. This era of entertainment is finally coming to a close, and if it means sacrificing Chronicles of Narnia one final time to really drive home a message, at this point in time, man, just make the pain quick. We can just go ahead and get over trying to make Greta Gerwig a thing, for Christ's sakes, because I'm not going to let her off the hook when Snow White rolls around and is a complete and total disaster. And then especially when Chronicles of Narnia comes back around, oh boy, you better believe that I'm going to be paying very close attention to this. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.